toured with AFI a bunch. We all became great friends, and we got to do like giant amphitheaters with them and arenas with them. I mean, at one point by the last record we had made on Epitaph, we got to do like Slipknot dates in like arenas and stuff. So it was crazy.
This is back to your story.
All right. How we doing, brother?
Fantastic.
Yes. Dude, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. I was super stoked when you got back in touch with me.
I walked in and it was instantly just so nice. Oh, here's some hot tea and a joint and some soda water.
I mean, I think it's important, especially anyone willing to drive all the way out here, especially for how far you came. I want to set it up as nice as possible,
Just so everyone knows, I drove here from Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And, took me a while, but I did it,
Took him 62 days, but he finally made it.
Hey.
Holy shit. There we go. So, I like to start the podcast normally off. Why don't you do a brief introduction?
My name's Efrem. I am the singer of the VooDoo Glow Skulls, Death by Stereo, and Manic Hispanic.
There we go.
And a lot of other little projects here and there and things and stuff. And my life is music. I tour pretty much nonstop. When I'm not playing with my bands, I tour with other artists.
Yeah.
So,
God,
here I am.
Man,
dude.
that's incredible. No, it's like seriously incredible. I mean, being a kid, growing up, playing music, and being able all these years later to make your life around music is few and far between.
It's pretty bonkers.
And I can just see like the way your face glows up, like when you talk about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a beautiful thing. And for you, where does that all start? Like, when did you even start playing music?
When I was in junior high, I met my friend Steven. And
Can you get a little bit closer to the microphone?
when I was in junior high, I met my friend Steven.
You can swing it back like side
Okay,
of it. Yeah.
When I was in junior high, I met my friend Steven, and his grandpa had instruments at his house.
All right.
So we'd go there and just tinker around with him. His grandpa was amazing. Jose, he had this, he was blind, this old blind man, but he played drums, keys, bass, guitar. So we had everything there. So we would just tinker with it. And that was where it all kind of started for me.
Wow, that's incredible, man. So wait, he was a blind musician.
Yeah, and he would play at like old folks' homes with like an old folks band.
What the
and He's
heck?
blind. Sometimes guitar, sometimes drums. Jose was a rad dude, and this guy was interesting because I'm from a town called Fullerton.
Yeah.
In Orange County, California. Dude, I remember being young when I first got my license. You'd be driving around. Jose was completely blind, but had the whole neighborhood memorized. And would just be walking to places like his little senior center.
No way.
To get a sandwich, whatever. And I'd always pull over. Hey, Jose, it's Efrem. Oh, hey, here, get in the car. And I would get out, help him into the car, and then just drive him to where he was going.
Holy shit.
Dude, yeah, Jose had the neighborhood memerized.
Oh my gosh. Totally independent.
Oh, yeah, dude, it was awesome. That's a great memory, dude.
Oh my gosh.
From my youth, like
100%. So he must have not been born blind then.
No, he became blind over time, but interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Anyways, that's so random tangent.
No. I absolutely that, because I asked you like where, like how music started, right?
Yeah,
and
Jose
so
Cordero, dude.
This individual was
Jose
a
Cordero.
huge part of your story.
Massive part of my story. Massive. It's kind of trippy, huh?
Yeah.
We would just jam at his house, jam in his garage. Our first trying to make a band, with getting other dudes to play with us. Really formative years, just skating and playing music all the time. It was really cool.
Those moments in your life, like for me, I look back at my own childhood, like, being 14, 15, 16 years old and just like skating, no worries, out, when the sun came up, no cell phone, no internet, nothing, like detached, straight up latchkey kid,
rad,
just
dude.
like fucking a great experience.
Amazing.
And it's, it's obviously different from today, right?
Way different.
100%. And I always talk about this like on the podcast. Like I feel fortunate, and I'm sure you do too, that I grew up in a generation that it was like before the internet and then after the internet, right?
Yes.
There's like something I don't know. I don't want to say like romantic about it, but it's just like beautiful.
Oh, dude, I've discussed this with people before. Like, it used to be like it took so much effort. You know, you'd skate super, super far.
Yep.
Yo, can Joey come out? Joey's not here. Guess I'm not hanging out with Joey today. You know what I mean? And like you just it's weird. My friends that are all parents, they arrange like hangs for their kids at certain times at certain places, and I'm like, yo, we should just get out and skate to the spot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. We knew friends would be there. You
Absolutely.
had to hang, dude. You
Absolutely.
had to hang.
And that's what it was all about. I mean, it was so crazy because like I like when I was like 6 years old, I was walking myself to school, right? And I would walk a half a mile to school and back home every single day by myself at 6 years old.
That's so rad, dude. That's never good. No one does that.
And you know what's crazy?
No one does that.
Is that I am sure if we can you look this up, Tyler? Statistically speaking, is 2022 safer than it was back in like compared to the 1980s?
Oh, yeah. Compared to like what 1989?
Right.
Okay.
Like, you know, like
85.
We're 2023, but whatever, 2022 doesn't matter because it's like you would figure that today, you know, like all the cameras, the security, like all that shit.
Okay, so it's saying that crimes are actually like relatively the same, but murders are skyrocketed.
Wow. Because I feel like there's another aspect of this.
Okay.
In the 80s, there was this weird blanket of safety because I feel like dad strength was more powerful in the 80s. So like you could be like driving in a car with your pop, no seatbelts, sitting on his lap. He's pulling on a Bud Light. Yeah. You know what I mean, dude? And like no one ever got in an accident. No one ever got, and he's smoking a cigarette, you know. You're right. That was the 80s, dude. 80s, 90s.
Yes.
Dude, like I think dad strength was just more powerful.
It has to be, for sure. And if it's not, it just sounds better. Get the fuck out of here, man.
It was just different then.
It was so different. I mean, dude, I remember my parents smoking cigarettes in the house for as long as I could remember, right?
Yeah.
And if you walk into a house now and someone's like, it's just not happening, right?
Never.
It's
not around kids.
No, hell no.
Remember, mom would just, in my case, my dad would just be like blowing smoke the other way. Like that worked.
They'd be in the car, like windows practically rolled up the entire
just
way.
A little crack.
Just like the tiniest crack to just
like
get
it's
that
not
little
getting it's so good.
It's so crazy.
And cigarette smoke, I guess, didn't bother me, or the smell didn't bother me when I was a kid. No. Now, I'm just like, ugh.
Well, I get that. Yeah, 100%. And I think it's because this was a time where everyone was smoking, right? And so it's like, Tyler, I don't even know if you know this, but you go back to like the 60s and 70s, they were smoking in hospitals.
On fucking airplanes.
On fucking airplanes, hospitals. It's insane to even think that they would do that shit.
It's fucking bonkers, dude. Like, it's asinine. But, yeah, or the smoking section at the restaurant.
Yes.
Like, the dividing line. Like, so if you're in the booth behind the smoking booth, like, what?
Dude, and we've come so far now that at Disneyland, there is no smoking section.
I know.
There's not even one spot where you can smoke a cigarette.
You know what? I've toured Europe for years.
Yeah.
And in a lot of places in Europe, it's totally cool to smoke.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So, dude, it was such a trip to like be from here, be in a pretty, for the most part, smoke-free areas when we first started going to Europe, and then going into like a French club. We were all like, yeah. It was like so hard to scream halfway through because it was just a blanket of gray smoke. It's like so you were like, crazy. Like a fog machine was going all night or something.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God. Like you'll be hanging out in some parts of Europe and Slade's pushing a carriage and like the baby's smoking. You know what I mean? Like,
you had me sold. I was like, hello.
Yeah.
Would you like a cigarette?
A super sophisticated European baby.
With like a little mustache.
Yes,
just like a little tiny mustache.
Yes, just like, oh, why do you not smoke? You know, and you're like, what? But it's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, dude, a lot of Asian cultures are the same way, man. It's
heavy smoke.
Heavy smokers, you know. In America, we like our vapes. Mm-hmm. We like our vapes and our weed, you know. So
we definitely do.
Fuck it. All right, so let's bring it back to your story, right?
80s dad strength.
Let's
covered.
go. 80s dad strength. Let's go. So when you started playing music, right?
Yeah.
Was it something that like instantly resonated towards you, or
100%. I was always into music.
Yeah.
Super into listening to records. My brother was really into records. We would buy records at flea markets, at the store, whatever. You know what I mean? Like anything we could get our hands on. I was super into music. I just didn't know that I could make it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
make music. And then punk, I think, was a good gateway into that for someone that couldn't play an instrument.
Yep.
So, you know, and punk let us know, like, oh, wow, anyone can do this.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, and then it was just game on, dude. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's all I cared about.
Was it hard for you, like in the beginning, to learn how to craft a song and put that together and right?
I don't think it was hard for us, but it doesn't mean it was good. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We just made these songs. We're like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. You know?
Yeah.
So, but over time, as I got older, I made it hard for myself. You know, like overanalyzing and all that. Once time went by. But man, I don't think we knew what we were doing. And then even when Death by Stereo started, we didn't know what we were doing. Like,
wow.
Literally, like one person would be like, hey, I have this part, this riff I wrote, and someone, oh, I have this part. Yeah. Let's just smash them together. There was no like, is that in the right key? You know, we'd get it as close as we could, or like, you know what I mean? Like we didn't really know, but we just did it, and it worked. You know, but now, you know, it's writing a song is it's a process. You know, like
I think that's like as you get older, you just start to analyze and overanalyze and think and rethink, and it's just like, and when you're younger, there's like this just like a naive freedom, right?
Totally. Go for it.
100%. Right. It's just like, you know, I remember for me, like when I was younger, it was just like, I would do this job, this, that, and the other thing. I work like all of these different things. Right. And as you get older, it's like your time is very precious to you. And it's just like it's sometimes like hard to like realize all the shit you did when you were younger.
Absolutely.
Like, how the fuck did I have all that energy?
Dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so insane. I mean, even the energy to like, it's just so funny. You know, just as even getting in your car and driving 2 hours to see a show, no problem.
No fucking problem.
Right, dude? Like,
no problem.
And now it's just like, oh, man. You know,
it's so true.
I'll drive 2 hours to play one.
Yes,
you know?
but it's like so different, though. But
Totally
that's such a crazy thought because, I mean, I was going to shows every fucking weekend. Every fucking weekend.
Don't get me wrong. I still do go on ridiculous journeys to see stuff.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
I mean? All the time, but not like when I was young, when it was just like there was nothing to do but go on that journey every day, you know.
But you still have that childlike spirit about you. You're still a kid at heart.
Dude, dude, young until I die.
That's right, brother. Bring it in, brother. Come on, bring it in. That's right. To the day you fucking leave this earth, man.
Exactly.
It's like, why get old, man? Like, I mean, we all get old, but like, why allow yourself mentally, you know, to get old? Like, try to stay as young and vibrant as possible.
Dude, I talk to a lot of guys. Everybody's taste is different and what they like and don't like. Everyone changes over time. But I talk to so many guys on the road. They're like, dude, fuck, man. And I'm like, sick. I'm in wherever town tomorrow. You know what? My favorite fucking Chinese spots in that town.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Like, I'm stoked to be somewhere different every day of the week.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's fucking sick.
You know, and
even if it's somewhere I've been a million times.
Yeah.
I just got my favorite spots. You know what I
mean?
mean?
But it's beautiful that you appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of people take things for granted. Right.
Exactly.
And you know, once you start doing that, I think it's a slippery slope. So it's like appreciate every single moment you can because this life is a blink of an eye.
Totally. And I think I'm just incredibly lucky to have been afforded the opportunity to go to all these places and go multiple times.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's stupid that like the next time we go to Berlin this summer, I know that when I get there, I'm going to go get a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go from there. I'm going to walk to my favorite record store.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And like, fuck, it's rad. I get to do that again.
Absolutely.
Can't believe it.
I love it.
I'm too old to be able to do that.
Come on, get the fuck out of here. But I know what you're saying.
Dude, it's bizarre.
Yeah,
you know?
It is. What do you think it is about you that you still have that childlike spirit about you?
I don't know. I think I'm still passionate about music.
Yeah.
You know, like truly passionate about it. And love it so much. Whether it's working behind the scenes, which I do when I'm not playing with my bands, whether it's, helping run a stage at a festival or working for an artist, tour managing, being on the road. It's cool to watch something go from inception to completion. Yeah. And it's rad to watch somebody do something they love, whether it's something I love or not, but it's rad to watch somebody do something they love and for a whole room of people to react.
Yes.
It's fucking so rad, dude. Yeah. It's cool to be a part of that journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like whether it could be some music that's fingernails on a chalkboard to me, but it's just how cool to see somebody so stoked.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's usually not fingernails on a chalkboard. I fucking like everything.
No, I get what you're saying though. Yeah. But it's that energy, man.
Totally.
It's that energy and that passion, right?
It's cool to witness.
It is the passion from the artist and the energy from the crowd.
Yeah.
Right. It's magnetic.
It's cool to see an artist be so hyped.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and like all these years later, I've been doing it for years, right? I mean, that's just like such a beautiful thing, like seeing these musicians that are in 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, and they're just fucking still loving it, still touring, still appreciating everything that they have, right?
And you see guys that are out there that still shred so hard. Like a couple, like not saying anything about the younger generation because there's so many amazing new bands.
Yeah.
I think music's in a great place.
Yeah.
But there's some cats out there on the road, man. I see them. I'm like, dude, these dudes are playing circles around these kids half their age. I'm like, dude, there's some guys out there that are still just, you know what I mean? Like I see, I equate like a lot of drummers to athletes, professional athletes, runners. Gosh, you know what I mean? Yes. Drummers have to be in shape. They have to, dude. It's so, especially drummers playing faster,
hard
extreme
shit.
music. Yeah, it's hard music, dude. So it's pretty impressive.
I mean, how often do you see, like a punk rock, hardcore type drummer that's fat? Right?
Not
like,
often, dude.
It's
not
overrated.
often.
No.
There's a couple human anomalies out there.
Of course.
You're like, that dude is so surreal.
Yes.
I've seen a couple dudes where it's like their body is designed that can only do one thing. You know what I mean? So weird. But yeah, there's some drummers out there, man. It's like, whew.
It's just magic, dude.
Yeah.
It's just fucking magic. That's so cool.
It's wild, man.
All right, so let's get back to your story, right? So started playing music with your friends.
Yeah. Death by Stereo eventually.
Yep. How did everything lead up to that point?
To Death by Stereo?
Yeah. Because this was what?
98.
Yeah, 98.
97 was when we were, I think, first kind of fucking around. And then 98 was when I was like, all right, I'm the singer now. And then we made a demo.
Shit.
But it was just a group of our friends from different bands that were all just jamming.
Yeah.
And I kept just going over and hanging out. And we were all from different bands that played together at parties and stuff. And then I remember just being like, hey, can I try and sing? This is cool. You guys are so good. And they kind of weren't feeling it. And then eventually I was just always hanging out. I think they just kind of caved in. Yeah, I'll let them try. And they gave me some lyrics and I recorded the song on a tape recorder and with a cassette and then went home, listened to it a bunch of times, and then wrote my own lyrics, thinking like, "Oh, they're gonna be pissed." I changed it, but they were hyped.
No way.
Yeah. So like, that was it. And then we wrote like 5 songs and made a demo tape, and we were officially a band in '98.
Holy shit,
crazy.
And so I mean, like every band, right? You start off with a fan, right? You're playing at these whatever shows, right?
Totally. Parties, shows, wherever we could.
Wherever you could, that hunger, that thirst.
Totally.
How long did it take from when you guys started, right, until you started seeing some steam pick up?
It's pretty fast. Like, we couldn't believe it. We were really diligent and played, like I said, we were playing anywhere we could.
Yeah.
And like there was a club in Anaheim that became Chain Reaction. It was called Public Storage. The short-lived venue. And I remember we played there every weekend for a month. Like, we'll play any show. Like, just let us play any show. So they were like, all right. And then, like, we started playing that venue all the time. And people would be like, dude, you guys are like the house band. But we'd play with any band. You just somebody cancels, we'll show up. We'll play 20 minutes before doors. We don't care,
Yes.
We played a lot of backyard parties, stuff like that. But then people started coming to see us at parties. And when we'd open shows, and then Dave at Indecision Records, hardcore label, was coming to see us too. And we were playing with bands that were on his label. We were starting to open more shows, and then he was just really cool and gave us a shot and put out our first LP in 1999, and we started touring.
Holy shit.
like DIY touring. And then by 2000, we were on Epitaph. It was crazy. We couldn't believe. Yeah, people just it started multiplying, and out of Dave's label that was out of his house.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, we were like, "Holy shit, we sold a bunch of these records." What? Like how did that happen?
Wow.
And it just started steamrolling, and we were just getting tour after tour. I remember at that point, like we couldn't believe the bands we were playing with. Like, how did this happen? 7 Seconds, Snapcase, AFI.
Yes.
Like it was wild, man. Like, excuse me. No. Someone just reminded me of that last night. We did a tour. It was us, Union 13, and 7 Seconds. One early tour, and so we just kept getting lucky. And then all these great bands were just so cool to us. Yeah. And it just kept steamrolling from there. And next thing you know, we're touring all over the fucking planet.
Dude, that's so incredible. Looking back, like, what were some of those first tour experiences like, right? Because like, especially when you start touring, right? You're a small band, probably in a van, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just total like DIY type.
100%.
When you look back at those times, like, what do you think of?
I think of nobody caring about anything. Like we were, you know what I mean? It was just all we cared about was those shows, dude, and the experience. And like, it was like we would go to play those shows, and it was just like everything would disappear, like everything at home, everything. It was just so rad to be in that moment, man. And those first shows, getting to play with all these cool bands, and the first like packed shows we played and stuff, it was pretty surreal. Yeah. Like, maybe shows in hindsight that may not have been as big as I remember them being, little tiny places, but they're so slammed. Like, dude, to me, it was like, holy shit, this is it, you know? So it was pretty surreal getting into that kind of era of our band, and then watching it just get kind of bigger and bigger with each record, and getting to tour internationally. I definitely didn't know. I had no idea that band was going to do that.
That's got to be such a surreal experience, right? Dude. Because like so many kids dream of it, right? Yeah. So many kids dream of it, but very few get to live it.
Yeah, we got to be on Epitaph Records.
That's what I like the fucking like. It's like the goddamn Catalina wine mixer, bro.
It is,
fucking
dude. It was fucking cool, man.
Dude,
seriously, dude. Like, I was super, like everybody else, super into Epitaph Records, super into all the bands. Bad Religion freak, dude, And then we get approached by the label, which is totally surreal. Brett Gerwitz called our bass player Paul Miner's mom's house and left a message. We thought it was a joke. Like, he called a few times, and then his assistant called, and then Paul was like, yo, I think it's real.
No.
Yeah, it was like that, because we were like, why? No way. Epitaph Records would never have heard of our band ever, our tiny band, you know? And it was real, man. And next thing you know, we're recording and hanging out in the crazy Epitaph office with Brett Gerwitz, and
Dude.
And playing tons of shows with Bad Religion. And it was totally surreal to be a part of that legacy.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck, man. I'm very grateful for that period of time in my life. Like, so grateful, man. Like, what an experience.
Do you remember the moment when you actually met with Epitaph, and then to sign that? And
Brett came to see us at the Key Club.
Okay.
In LA. For anyone listening, it's a now defunct club.
It's crazy.
Originally Prince's Glam Slam, I think.
Okay.
And Ghazari's before that. But
I remember the Key Club. I don't remember the other two.
The previous.
Yeah.
And it was Ignite headlining, Straight Face main support, and us opening.
All right.
And we did one show in Corona at the Showcase Theater, and then one show in LA. The Corona show was slammed, and it was overwhelming. We're like, wow, can't wait to play LA, because we knew he was coming. We're like, fuck, this show's gonna go off. Tanked. And we probably played to like 10, 15 people, who knows. And in this big place, and we're like, fuck it. We all just drank some beers and fucking just played our asses off. And he sat in the balcony with his chick and watched the whole show. And then afterwards came down. We were packing up, and we were just like, whatever. He saw us. Like, who knows? And then he came down, got on the stage because there wasn't that many people in there. And while we're breaking down our gear and Straight Face is setting up, he's just like, so what's up, guys? And we're like, oh, hey. And we talked to him on the stage because there was literally no one on the dance floor. Everyone had scattered in between bands. And we briefly talked while we were packing up our gear. And then he's like, you guys be into making a record? You want to make a record on Epitaph? And we were like, yes. And I was like, yes, that's all I've ever wanted to do. And he was like, all right, well, give me a call on Monday. We'll work it out, man. It was literally like that. It was fucking surreal, dude. That guy, dude. How must that feel to be like him that just can walk in and just give these dudes like this cool gift? You know what I mean? Like, here you go.
I mean, how old are you? Like 21, 22?
Had to be around 21, 22. I can't remember. I'm 48 now.
Yeah.
But and he just gave us this surreal gift, man, and changed our lives.
100%.
I remember when he left. He just like left, and we're all sitting there, and our drummer said the funniest thing. Our drummer at the time, Tim, the best dude ever. He was like, wow, did our band literally just get signed on the Sunset Strip? Yeah, and we're all, yeah. And he's like, dude, that shit really happens. Like, you know what I mean? Dude. It really happened. We got signed on Sunset in Hollywood. Like, it really happened.
And it's like, because no one was there, 10, 15 people there. And imagine if you guys would have allowed that to get to your head, didn't give it your fucking all.
Phoned it in.
100%. Boo-hoo, right? But
yeah. We're used to playing the backyard party for nobody. Sometimes for a lot of people, sometimes for nobody.
Yes.
We didn't care.
Yes.
We were used to just playing for ourselves anyways.
It's so crazy like how
punk rock.
Literally punk rock, but like how one moment could go two different ways, right?
Totally.
If you guys would have allowed that to get to your head, did a terrible job, boo-hoo, probably wouldn't be having this conversation.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
But
we wouldn't be having this conversation at all, dude.
That's what I'm fucking saying.
So crazy, right?
And so, but you guys do the complete opposite, and then the door opens.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Right? Do you remember the night that you guys actually signed?
I'm trying to remember
that experience, because that's just like, dude, fucking
we
Epitaph.
each individually signed our own book. It was like a contract was like a fucking book, dude.
Yeah.
And I remember we each individually signed our own, and I forget how it went down. I think who printed them out? Maybe Paul printed them out. I don't remember, but it was like a book, or they gave them to us or something. And then we sat with our attorney at the time, who was Joe Escalante of the Vandals, the bass player. Yeah, and he helped us go through the contracts, and we went back and forth to get them where they needed to be. And then, yeah, I think we signed them with Joe. Now, if I remember correctly, maybe we did it at Joe's office.
Dude.
I don't know. I have to ask the guys if they remember.
Dude.
But yeah.
Do you still have the contract?
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. I have everything.
Like, that's so cool.
I have everything.
That's
dude.
so fucking
I have
cool.
every zine, everything that I could keep, I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys sign it, and then what happens?
Then we went on tour with Snapcase and Boy Sits Fire.
Shit.
Yeah. We did North America with them, then came home from that and started making the record.
All right.
And it was the first time we went on tour where like this label was supporting us.
Yes.
So like every town we got to, there was like posters everywhere and on tour now and this and that. What? You know, we're in zines, like on tour, tour dates. Like we couldn't believe it. We're like, whoa, this is crazy. And we really started kind of making waves and we could feel it. And then we made that record and it just, man, we fucking went everywhere. It was cool, dude.
So dude, that record, right? What is that process like? Like when you guys are going to make a record, like who writes what? Does like one person write it all, or do you guys just start jamming together?
We did it the same way we did our first record. Everybody just had ideas, and we came together, and everybody would just like, here, I have this verse part. Well, I have this chorus part that might work for that, or something. We just would think of stuff jamming, dude. It was cool, and like everybody's heads were in really different places. Our drummer would have some wacky idea for just a beat. All right, we'll just write a part that goes over this weird beat.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the idea for a whole part of a song would revolve around drum parts often.
Okay.
I don't think we knew how you were supposed to do it.
Yeah.
You know
I mean, but is there even a right or wrong way? Like,
no, there's not. Everybody has their own process.
Of course.
And, you know, I think now we're much more like focused on like we're writing a song, you know, but it just came together like that. And with the advance we got, we bought equipment because our bass player was interning, trying to learn how to record.
Yeah.
So we bought early home recording equipment that became obsolete really fast. but some stuff for his home, and then we would do drums at like the studio he was interning at, and like late at night, middle of the night, and then he mixed the record. The Epitaph kind of just let us do our own thing. We gave him one song as a demo, and Brett was just like, "Oh, I dig this, and I like this direction," and then we would just send him like roughs of stuff here and there, and they were just cool. They're like, "Do your thing," and then we mixed it, and I remember Brett being like, "If this is your vision, I'll totally put it out." He was so rad about letting artists be artists and respecting your art. But he was like, "But here's my suggestions." And so we took his advice on like mix stuff and like, right, fucking record, let's do whatever he says.
Yes.
And it ended up being an even better record than it would have been. And it's just a trippy process, man. And then with time, he was actually way more involved with the record after that. And that was really eye-opening. That guy's a fucking genius, dude.
Yeah.
Like a fucking genius, dude.
Fucking legend.
Yeah, I mean, down to the, dude, let's move this mic over like a quarter of an inch on this kick drum, dude. It's going to make a world of difference. You know, like little things. That guy is a genius, dude.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you know, this is like a story that I hear all the time is like record labels will get in and they try to like control the creative process, right?
Yeah.
So to hear, you know, Epitaph kind of allowing you to be you guys,
dude, yeah,
and then giving you guys some like, you know, guidance, right?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
That's the way that it should be done.
Absolutely. They really let us express our ideas. And the band, we did 3 records at Epitaph, and from the first one to the last one, the band changed considerably. And they were just really cool with embracing our ideas and encouraging it.
Yes.
Which is highly unusual.
It's a beautiful thing, right?
It's an artist label, man.
I wish that more labels were like that. I think we'd get a lot better music, right? Do you remember your first big tour?
Our first big tour, like big?
Yeah.
I mean, we did, when Bad Religion came out with Process of Belief, we did a bunch of those shows. And that was like really big for us. We were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like it was cool. I remember playing like basketball gymnasiums at colleges and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like UC Santa Barbara or whatever, this big basketball gym. And big shows, man. And I mean, AFI, through different eras of our band, we toured with AFI a bunch. We all became great friends, and we got to do like giant amphitheaters with them and arenas with them. I mean, at one point by the last record we had made on Epitaph, we got to do like Slipknot dates in like arenas and stuff. So it was crazy.
What is that really like? What is that fucking experience like? Like walking out on stage and just seeing a sea of people.
It's fucking surreal. It can go both ways. Like a lot of people hate it. I love it. I think it's fucking rad playing a giant stage to a fucking bazillion people. You can be in a big room and there's a lot of people in there, but there are, enough people that it's like a giant show, but they're all in the back because the place is so big.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it can go a couple different ways, but it's still pretty rad to play on a big stage. And honestly, it's so rad to hear your band that loud.
Dude.
Kick drum, boom, in this giant place. And we got to play to some packed ones, man. And it was fucking pretty cool.
Yeah.
But also, like, we will rock. I was saying this the other day. We'll rock the fuck out of like a squat somewhere, dude.
Yes.
And fucking get down.
Yes.
Fuck shit up, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
And a lot of people I think don't realize it's like that for every band, whether you're sick of it all or who you are. In some places, your band's playing a little tiny hole in the wall.
Yeah.
In some places, you're playing a giant festival. You know, it's just it's different everywhere. So, but I love it all, man.
And through different years and decades, right? It's like an ebb and flow.
Waves.
Like
There's small years for hardcore and punk. Yeah. There's bigger years that goes through cycles, man.
100%.
Dude, we've played with Pennywise in giant places and smaller places and giant places again. It's never been that small for them, but you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
Punk was bigger at one point, got smaller, got big again, and it's crazy. It seems like in the last few years, in the couple years leading up to the pandemic, punk is really strong.
Bro, like love or hate MGK, but when he came out with that album,
punk
Dude,
got a lot more
bro,
notoriety again.
100%, right?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, for me, like, you know, growing up on Your Music or anywhere from like Your Music to Blink, NoFX, Rise Against, you know, all these
Yeah.
different, you know, types of like, and then to see, you know, the younger generation kind of like getting sucked back into it and seeing all these other bands
dope.
starting to create, you know, punk rock again, like where like hip hop has been like the dominant force for quite some time, right? Which I absolutely love hip hop as well.
Should be the dominant force.
Absolutely. I get it. But it's really cool to see, you know, it's just every ebb and flow, right?
It's dope.
Ebb and flow.
It's dope.
It is. It is.
And dude, hip hop, I've said it before, in so many fucking ways, is fucking way more punk rock than punk rock.
Oh, for sure. I get what you're saying.
Way more DIY, way more hustle, 1,000 times more hustle, dude.
Yeah.
Like the DIY ethic is strong in hip hop,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Fucking dope.
It is. But I think punk rock and hip hop have a lot of similarities in that, right?
Absolutely.
You know?
I like even back in like the CD days.
Yeah.
Like bands made a lot of money selling CDs.
Yeah.
And so did hip hop artists. But like new bands that were coming up, you would see like the Paul Walls of the world selling CDs out of the trunk of their car.
Yes,
dude,
yes.
And killing it.
Crushing it.
And a punk band that maybe wouldn't be willing to work as hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then again, it's hard to sit in a parking lot blaring a fucking punk rock CD and
It's
trying
different.
to sell it. Yeah,
it's different. It's
Yeah.
different. It's different. It's different.
It's
But still,
nuanced.
absolutely, absolutely. So you guys are rocking with Epitaph, right? You guys make 3 albums. When you look back at those 3 albums, which one are you most proud of?
I think I'm the most proud of the last one we made with them because I feel like we really pushed ourselves to the limit in so many directions. Like how melodic can we be? How heavy can we be? How fast can we be? How slow and groovy can we be? You know, and we were always melodic and heavy punk and hardcore and metal thrashy kind of a mix.
Yeah.
But on the last Epitaph record we made, Death for Life, we really pushed it and tried to just get as heavy as we fucking could and just really like set out to make the darkest heavy record we could. Wow. And dude, Dan wrote some of the most crushing fucking riffs like I had ever heard at that time, you know, and still, and I just, fuck, we were just so locked into that vibe at the same time. All of us, we were just locked, our brains were locked in, and it just really flowed. And I'm really proud of that record, man. Yeah. And of all the records we made, I'd say that our second Epitaph record, Into the Valley of Death, was probably the most popular in the US.
Yeah.
But our last record, Death for Life, internationally was the most popular. And that's where when that record came out, that opened the doors for us to start going to South and Central America. Jeez. Yeah, and doing a lot more deep touring in Europe, going way into like Eastern Europe, and saw us really exploring and discovering new places and meeting new people and learning about new music and culture. And what an incredible time. That record was a trip for us. You know?
What is that like, man? Like putting out an album, right? And there's like something like, okay, your album's doing well in the US, right? But then to be able to open up the doors and it's a South America, like all that's just got to be so strange and
super strange,
fucking awesome at the same time.
Super strange. I mean, like we were still doing crazy shit in the US, but dude, the record before it was just a bigger record. And we talk to people about it and they'd be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, no, you have no idea. We just came back from the Dominican Republic where I was on a cooking show.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, it got crazy for us. I mean, felt like it was just Eddie VooDoo from VooDoo Glow Skulls quotes it. He says about VooDoo because they had this gigantic moment. He goes, it felt like it was just like a season. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so for like a season, we were really popular in all these trippy places. And we would tell people like, no, like, check this out. Like, we just played a giant rock festival in Bogota, Colombia. You know what I mean? Like just trippy shit. So
and they're singing back your words.
Oh yeah. We were just in the Czech Republic with suicidal tendencies.
Fuck.
You know what I mean?
Come on,
yeah, dude. Like,
dude.
it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
So what an experience, man.
Yeah.
Like mind blowing, dude. So that whole Epitaph era was very unique, and I just feel like we were dude, we were just fucking lucky, man. And we got to record at all the cool studios over, Sound City, NRG. We got to these legendary studios and these crazy rooms like back in the old days before everybody had all the drum sounds they needed. Yeah. The reverbs and the room sounds. Like, let's go to this epic room from our favorite records and spend the budget on that room so we can get like a rad drum sound. Yeah. And back in those days, it'd be cool if there was this pinging sound. You could just find a sound on Pro Tools now, with a plugin. But like, all right, well, let's mic up this fucking trash can. You know what I mean? We had time. We were in a studio experimenting with things and putting things together, and we were lucky to still be a part of that, and we got to record a lot of shit on tape. 2-inch tape, dude. What the fuck, right? 2-inch tape. So we're really lucky, dude.
How would you guys even edit that? How do you edit
We used to cut tape, dude. They would cut tape to edit parts together. You had to play shit right. Damn. That's how we edited it. You know what I mean? Or you would like, hey man, we're out of tracks. All right, well, fucking I have to do the vocal over. You had to fucking practice and you just had to do it. Or you're like, dude, I remember our first record doing shit, the cheap sessions we could get in the middle of the night at the studio Paul was interning at. Well, dude, we have 6 hours. All right, we got to finish all the vocals on these last 4 songs. Wow. And so a lot of those, there's a lot of moments on there that were one takes where like in my mind at the time, I'm like, oh man, my voice sound a little squeaky right there, or it's a little pitchy. And then now when I look back at it, I'm like, oh man, that's cool. It's the realist. It's honest. It's not me being able to nitpick everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And with technology, right? They can tweak the vocals. You can do all the takes, right? You can do everything, right? But like, there's just something so raw and punk rock about how it was done back then.
I miss it.
Right? Like, and then from there, right? You have it on the tape. So then what's the next process? How do they start making all the, like, that's crazy to me.
Dude, and also going into the recording process, I'm not every band. A lot of bands still do things the old-fashioned way, but we'd go in incredibly prepared. We'd be practicing 5 days a week. No one would miss it. 5 days a fucking week. Bang, 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 bang. We'd come home. We toured the whole year, like 8 months. Come home for like 4 months. Write a record. Practice every day of the fucking week, dude. Sometimes even on the weekends. And we'd walk in there just fucking ready. And the band would play all in a room. We'd put the guitar cabinets in different rooms, like, and everybody be playing together. And sometimes the tempos would speed up. Sometimes they'd slow down, but it felt real. You know what I mean? It was cool. And we were trying to capture the band's live sound. It wasn't, and there's nothing against this because we do it. It wasn't like somebody writing a song and sending it to you and you sending your vocals back. Yeah. You know what I mean? We worked so hard to get that song to that point. Now, how do we get these tones? Like, I worked on my guitar tone for so long. How do I capture it with this microphone in this room? Yeah. You know what I mean? The room sound was a lot too. We mic'd the room, So I really miss that. And we've actually had conversations about trying to do stuff that's a little more live. Maybe we need to lose the click.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? Like one thing that I hate is like you'll hear a record, right, and it sounds really good, and then you go to see the artist live and they sound like shit. Right? Totally. Or maybe their record it's okay, but then you see them live and they're fucking dope.
Because for sure. Well, because after you record your record nowadays, you got to learn it. Yeah. Everybody's recording on their own. No one's ever played it together in the same room. And that's just the way it is. Some bands live in different places, and some of those bands write the best music ever. So it works for some people. It doesn't for others. We do both. Yeah. We can get in a room and knock something out. Sometimes one of the guys will just send one of us a song, and you're like, holy fuck, bro. Like, whoa. So it works both ways for us. But, dude, I'm definitely yearning to do something new that's a little more organic and
that'd be that'd be fucking cool, dude. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like you think you'd record back on tape again?
I mean, it's so fucking astronomically expensive, dude. I'm probably on Pro Tools, but still, I think we'll do something creative. We'll figure out what our direction is. I like every record to be its own journey, and to be a different, complete record,
just a different feeling vibe, right? Have it, so it stands alone.
I hope they all stand alone at least.
Definitely, man. for bands that, you know, spend so much time together, touring, recording, all these things, like that, there's like this same old song and dance, right? Band's been together for a while, they break up, right? Mm-hmm. Happens all the time. Very few stick it, you know, make the long distance, right?
Right.
How going through that experience for yourself, right? Like, what is that like? And you know, when you work so hard at something and then the cracks start happening.
Oh, dude, it's rough. You know what I mean? And especially with Death by Stereo, man, we've been through so many changes and ups and downs. And myself and Dan have always just, dude, it's just our baby, dude. And we just at all costs kept it going. Yeah. I mean, at the smallest it ever was to the biggest it ever was, and back to the smallest again, you know? Yeah. And dude, we just, I don't know, we just love the music so much. And the cracks started happening. And there's definitely dark times and low times, but I think we just love the music so much. We never let it stop us. And what those cracks did do, though, was force us to find other avenues and other opportunities and other interests too. Yeah. So, you know, and when you're young, you fault someone for leaving your band, you know, and then later you're like, dude, that guy just fell in love with something else. You know what I mean? It's natural. And so it kind of pushed us in a lot of different directions, but and for some time, like right now, we're just getting back to it. We've been quiet for a long time. Yeah. You know, because everyone's in so many projects or working on different careers. But if anything, the cracks, I think, sent us in a lot of other more creative directions. And I think the time allows us to come back to it and approach it with kind of a different, fresher perspective.
Yeah.
I hope.
What is it about Death that means so much to you? Is it because it's the first?
It's my baby, dude, you know? And like, I'm so lucky to be in all the bands I'm in and all that. But dude, like, Death is ours. You know, we thought of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And from the inception. And it's my thoughts and things from my heart and my ideas and my opinions and my full, complete, total 100% expression. And not like I don't get to express myself with the other bands, but
it's your IP. It's your baby.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, and I just been there since day one, and I love playing the music, you know? Like VooDoo Glow Skulls is so phenomenally awesome to be a part of. And I get to go do shit with VooDoo that's so crazy, dude. It's so big. Yeah. But I'll go play a tiny hardcore show with Death by Stereo, and it feels so good, dude. Yes, you know what I mean?
Yes,
we have our first shows in a long time coming up, and I'm so excited, dude. You know?
Love that, man.
Fuck.
When was the last time you guys played?
Our last show was PsychoFest 2 years ago, right when we could come out of the pandemic and play a show. Yeah. And then we played a year before that. We did a live stream. And so, I mean, I guess 2 years. Our first show in 2 years. We're going to play our first local show to home in 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
You nervous?
Yeah, man. Yeah. We rehearsed the other day, and it was like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh, shit. Like,
dude.
Whoa.
That's crazy, though, right? Because like this has been a part of your life forever, right?
My whole life.
Your whole life.
Half my life, dude, you know?
But to hear you say, yeah, I'm nervous, right? Like, that means that you love it, that I feel like a lot of times when, you know, like bands, comedians, whoever, right? They're like, you ask them, like, are you nervous before you go on stage, or you get excited, right? It's one or two answers, yes or no, right?
Totally.
And if it's no, well, that's like
I always get nervous.
Always.
And sometimes even not like in a bad way.
No.
Like this nervous, excited.
It's exciting. It's
energy, yeah.
And then you just get up there and it's just, fuck, you become alive.
Oh dude, yeah. Beast. You know, beast mode.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
good, dude.
I love that.
And it's different vibes with the different bands I'm in. And with VooDoo, it's a totally different vibe. But it's wild as fuck. And I get to be this other person. Yeah. You know, it's cool. And that's what I think is unique, that in each band I'm in, I get to be a different character. Yeah. You know,
so it's so cool.
Fucking wild.
That's
it's
so
bizarre. Cool. You know, like, what? You know, I'm this guy now. Fuck yeah, rad.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like, let's go, tour beast. Let's go.
Absolutely. How did VooDoo, how did that even come about?
I was my old house I used to live in Hollywood, East Hollywood. Lovely East Hollywood. Whoa. Over by the Home Depot and not 101 in Sunset.
All right.
And it's a little spicy around that neighborhood, you know.
I like spicy.
Yeah, it's yeah, you know. And I was living there, and one night we were all hanging out. We had this fire pit, and Crazy Tom and Monty from the band DFL came over, and we were all just hanging out having fire pit night, you know, talking about records or whatever, you know, having fun. And then they both said to me, "Hey, did you hear Frank quit the VooDoo Glow Skulls?" And I remember being like, "Oh no, man!" And I'm like, "That fucking sucks," you know.
Yeah.
What a bummer. Like, what's gonna happen to them? And they're like, "We don't know." And I remember saying to them, when we got on Epitaph, VooDoo was one of the first bands we met, and they were so cool to us. Offered us a little advice, different things, and just nice guys. And like, we were friends, but kind of more like acquaintances. But every time we'd see them at an event or something, they were like the coolest dudes to us. Oh, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? You know what I mean? Like, how's it going for you guys? This and that, because they were big time on the label. And they kept telling me, like, you should hit up Eddie. You should hit up George. Like, hit up one of the guys, dude. They're like, dude, you're the perfect guy for that gig. You know? And I'm all, are they going to keep doing it? They're like, we don't know. Wow. So I reached out to Eddie. Was it Eddie? I think I reached out to Eddie first on Facebook and wrote him, and honestly changed my mind and just said, you know what, man? I heard about the band. I hope you guys are okay. And if you get it back together, keep Death by Stereo in mind. Why haven't we ever played shows together?
Yeah.
You know, it'd be cool. And he wrote me back, hey, what's up? And then we started going back and forth, and it turned into, you know, man, your name actually came up in conversation. They go, we don't know if we're going to stay a band, but we have this tour booked in Canada. We'd like to fulfill it. So I said, well, we talked. Maybe I could try out, you know? Yeah. So I just practiced their set a bunch by myself, you know, wrote all the lyrics out, typed them out on the advice of Tony Adolescent. He's a teacher. He's like, Efrem, if you want to remember those lyrics, write them all out by hand. So I did that. And great advice.
Yes.
And then I went and tried out with my lyric book, and I filled in for the tour. And then after the tour, they said they wanted to keep going.
Holy shit.
And they just kept me, you know, I'm like, fuck, I'm lucky, you know,
dude,
Dan from Death by Stereo, who also plays in Zebrahead, said to me, hey man, he's all, we're old. He goes, dude, he got in Zebrahead, which is another ginormous band, you know, and he's like, we're not supposed to be doing this at this age. He's like, this is bizarre how lucky we are to be able to both be in these like new bands to us.
Yes.
And keep getting to do this.
Yeah.
We were both like, wow, yeah. I'm like, wow, we are both. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
You know, and my first show with VooDoo, I had like 2 or 3 weeks to get it down, and was this fest, the It's Not Dead Fest in San Bernardino, was my first show with them 6 years ago, and dude, it was like 10,000 people.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was fucking nervous as fuck. Yeah. Oh my, dude, it was fucking right. And in San Bernardino, they're from Riverside. It's their hometown. It was fucking so insane. But as nerve-wracking as it was also so overwhelmingly cool. Fucking cool. I was like, oh my God, this whole sea of people they are all singing along to these insane songs.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, holy shit. So it was pretty mind-blowing, man. And then it was just this wild ride. We went to Canada. We did the tour, and it was just a wild ride, man. Because the whole time they were like, we played that giant show. They're like, this might be the last time we play a show this big.
Oh, my God.
You know, like they didn't know.
God. Yeah.
And I thought I was going to get all this hate. Dude, I was instantly embraced. Some of it has to do with the fact is the previous singer wore a mask.
Yeah.
For part of the set. So I wear my own mask. But the idea being, they told me before we went on tour, they're like, don't let them hate you before they hear you. And I would take it off midway through, and I'd see people like, what the fuck? You know, or
because they didn't know at that point.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that they had gotten a new singer, and I just went on the tour. And so like some people I could tell were tripping out, like, oh, what's a different guy? Yeah, some people knew, some people didn't. Yeah, don't let them hate you till they hear you. That was their advice, dude. Greatest advice ever.
Wow.
And so it's kind of cool, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I just, and I've told this story before, but not to sound like a broken record to anybody out there. But the most hate I got was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We were at a club called the Launchpad, And I'm standing on the stage, and if I'd look to stage left, there was a girl in the crowd with her arms crossed. And every time I'd look at her, she'd look at me and be like, mm-mm. Like shake her head like, nope. And I was like, what? And she just kind of gave me that the whole time, but clearly into the band, fan of the band in the front the whole time.
Yeah.
After the show, she was talking to some of the guys who were signing a poster or saying hi or greeting her, whatever. She was wishing them well and something. And I walked up and I was like, hey. And she looked at me and she's like, I don't know about you. And I was, yeah. And I said, come on. And come on. And she goes, look, I've just been a fan of the band for a long time. And I go, I get it. I go, how old are you? And she told me, and I go, well, I'm however old I was, 40, blah, blah, blah. I'm 48 now. So whatever I was. And I go, I'm a little bit older than you. And I go, I've been a fan of them longer.
Wow.
You know, I go, I've been into them since I was pretty young. And I go, there's no difference. And she was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It made her look at it different. She's like, I get it. And I go, yeah, I get to do this.
Yeah.
This is dope. And she was like, oh, that's cool. And then she was super cool. We had a super rad talk. It was cool.
Yeah.
You know, so,
I mean, think about it, right? Perspective, right? Imagine if you didn't come on, right? And they did break up. There'd be no VooDoo.
it's so weird, right?
So would you, if that girl was standing right here, would she rather there be VooDoo
or
no VooDoo?
Thank you. I'd never thought about it
Right?
that way. Holy shit, dude. That's right.
Come on.
And her and one guy. We played Alex's bar in Long Beach once, and there was just this one guy. It's kind of funny. He was in the pit the whole time, just kept flipping me off all night. Walking to the front, looked really angry. Fuck you. And like to the point where we were like so confused by it almost. And then it was really aggressive, and he was like the total shitty bro guy pushing people around in the pit, being mean. After the show, I saw him getting a DUI out front.
Let's go. Don't be a dick.
Wah, wah, wah.
That's it right there. Don't be a dick.
But
That's
at any rate, yeah, VooDoo, dude, it's surreal, and we're still going.
Yeah.
6 years later, I made an album. You know, like, dude, like, we're working on a new one.
wow.
So,
So you are fully ingrained in the band.
oh yeah,
100%.
that's what we do. It's what I do now.
Like that's just got to be this kid growing up in Fullerton. Right?
Yeah, dude.
Like
fucking
starts
cool.
this fucking band and gets signed to Epitaph. All you like, what the fuck,
I'm
man?
in my second Epitaph band.
That's crazy. That's so true.
Dude, isn't that crazy? It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. Like,
Whoa.
yeah, dude, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just any Epitaph bands out there, if you need a singer, give me a call. I'd be more than happy to sing. You know, I can sing different styles.
Yes.
You know,
Let's go, dude.
what do you need?
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I got you. Ska, reggae, punk, hardcore. What do you need?
You ever do any hip hop?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Jesus Christ. Beastie Boys will hit you up next.
I'm ready.
So for you, right, when you made the transition to VooDoo and going on those tours, did you think it was gonna continue? Like after that first tour, like were the guys like, this is gonna stay, or
Part of me didn't think it was. I honestly thought they were just going to fulfill that tour. They were stoked and everybody was having a great time. But personally, I was like, I don't know if this can keep going. You know, and I guess myself, I didn't totally wrap my head around the band without Frank singing.
Yeah.
And I didn't anticipate it continuing. I was like, oh, we're in Canada. You know, audiences in Canada, just in my experience with Death by Stereo, were always fucking so rad and open-minded and cool. And I was kind of thinking like, can't be like this everywhere.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can't be this good everywhere,
Yeah.
you know? And so I honestly didn't know. And at the end I was like, wow, you know, like,
Yes.
fuck, really? We're going to go again?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Where are we going?
Damn.
You know?
And then when they asked, you know, with the album, like, what was that, right? Because that's like, you know, it's like, okay, we're touring, right? But now we're gonna do an album.
Yeah.
That's like a leg up.
Well, they had showed me these instrumentals they had and some stuff with vocals. They were working on another record and it got scrapped.
Wow.
And we scrapped almost the whole thing.
Shame.
And then there was a couple songs that they kept, or a few songs they kept, and then a couple of them just really changed. A couple of them we kept the same, and re-recorded them. And but most of the album was just written from the ground up, and we really tried to focus on a way of blending the two styles of Frank's vocals with my vocals.
Yeah.
You know, because he had a really distinct style, and Dude, it's hard to sing like him. That guy is a big dude with giant lungs and says like 100 words in a second, like so fast. It's really hard. And he pushes this loud projects. So it's definitely a challenge. And so I was trying to write a little bit like me, but mostly like him.
Yes.
And they kind of have been really cool about kind of segueing it. You know what I mean? Like this next record, I think will be even more of me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool though.
So it's cool and it's fun. It was really fun singing in that style because, dude, they're all brothers. So the two brothers comfortably could write in that style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So those guys have a lot of great vocal ideas. It's crazy.
You know, when you tried out for VooDoo, that had to be like, you had to be fucking nervous as shit.
Dude, when I was a teenager, I worked in a screen printing shop.
Yeah.
And we printed the VooDoo Glow Skulls t-shirts. And I remember being a fan of them. This is in the late 90s, being a fan of them.
Yeah.
Riding my bike to this shop to screen print t-shirts. Oh, we're doing the VooDoo Glow Skulls? Holy shit. I must have been 17 or 18, you know?
Yeah.
And one day my boss, Pat, who's the coolest dude ever, and he's all, hey, because I had just gotten a car. I got this VW Bug, and he was like, hey, man, I've got like a couple boxes of merch. Like, do you want to drive these to the VooDoo Glow Skulls and drop them off? Like, probably knowing I'd be stoked too. And obviously, he didn't have to drive a fucking hour and a half to wherever the fuck they were at some show. And I drove to this show, and then I remember Eddie probably doesn't remember this, you know, but like I remember meeting him and him being so cool. Like, hey, I'm delivering your merch, and him reaching in the box and pulling a hat out and like, here, you want a hat?
Wow.
Do you want to come in? Fuck yeah, I do. You know, like, and
no way.
Yeah. So
dude.
I was a VooDoo fan already, dude. Yeah. Trippy, huh?
So it just comes full circle.
Full fucking circle, dude.
What do you think that is, man? Like,
know,
dude, like, what is that about the universe when these stories happen, right? Like, it is fucking mind-boggling. It's like, is there like a puppet like controlling it, or is it just?
I think it's time and place. Like, it's the course of your life is determined by a lot of time and place things.
Yes.
So, okay, Dan, the guitar player of Atreyu, said this to me. Because, dude, when I was a young kid, I was always seeking out music, seeking out shows, finding places to see bands, parties, wherever I could be, because I'm so into it. And I think the fact that I was just there for so many things early on that became something or became nothing, I was there, though. And Dan from Atreyu said this to me. He goes, man, just hanging out dramatically, completely altered my life. He's like, I was just there. You know what I mean? You meet people, and then 20 years later, Dan is Dan from fucking Atreyu. Like, we were just in the same place at the same time. You know what I mean? And I think, dude, it's just hanging out and just being there. Because, like, all of the people that are in these bands, like, you'd see him at shows early on or local shows and things. And they were doing the same thing we were. Yeah. Seeking it out. Like, oh, there's a band playing. I heard they're punk. Okay, let's check it out. It's punk music. Or you look at a flyer. Oh, there's a punk band from San Francisco playing. I wonder what they sound like.
Yeah.
You know, so it dude, just, I'm telling you, hanging out just changes your life, dude.
Well,
you
look,
know what I mean?
look what happened with Death, right? Just hanging out. Give me a shot.
Just hanging out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to everybody out there that's young, man, like, dude, chase it, find it, seek it out. It's out there. You know, and everybody that's old too, man.
Yes.
Like, dude, there's so many people I know that are my age. They're like, dude, there's maybe because I drive so much and I spend so much time on the road, certain distances don't mean as much to me as they do to other people. But sometimes a certain show or a certain tour will come through. I'll drive that 2 hours and I'll go see it, you know, and then the coolest thing will happen that night. I'll be telling my friend about it. They'll be like, dude, I can't believe you drove that far. And I go, dude, what'd you do in the 6 hours I was gone? You watched 2 movies on Netflix. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
ate
such
some
a valid
food,
point. That's such a valid point, right?
You killed a whole night on that couch. And the same time I went, saw this killer band, fucking ran into so-and-so, met this cool thing. I couldn't believe it. Drove straight home. I was a little tired the next day, but dude, it was so worth it.
So worth it.
But fucking Pennywise was so good.
Yes,
yes.
Dude, but that's such a valid point, because it's like we spend so much time like binge watching and doing shit, and it's just like as you get older, you get so stuck in your fucking ways. Of course, right?
I'm very guilty.
Yes.
Not, you know.
But you're a human. I get that. But like as we get older, we get so stuck in our ways, and we have to realize that you sometimes just got to fucking put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Drive the distance. Go see that band. Go do that thing, right? Like
dude.
it's just
It's awesome.
I always say it's like life is a blink of an eye, and life is about memories. You know, when you are on your deathbed, you're not going to be like, I wish I bought more things. No, you're going to be like, I wish I spent more time with my friends, family, had more adventures, fucking saw more things. Like all of these things.
100%. Like not having a ton of regrets.
Exactly.
You know, I want to see as much of the planet as I can before I can't.
Yeah.
Until I physically can't anymore, because I'm so lucky I'm in this position to, you know, I get to go to these places. It's a lot of places, as you know, it's just you're there for a night, but dude, you're there.
Yes.
It's fucking rad.
100%. 100%. I hate to do this. Tyler, will you grab it?
7 minutes ago, eBay notification.
That never happens, bro.
We were just talking about that.
I would
too.
literally,
Isn't that funny?
we just put it on Do Not Disturb. It just like keeps on fucking. I forgot. I normally put it on Do Not Disturb. My bad.
Hilarious,
Because we were talking about.
we were
It's
just
your
talking
fucking
about it.
fault, bro.
Yeah, I
it's
jinxed
your
it.
fault.
I jinxed
It's
it,
your
dude.
fucking fault, dude.
That's hilarious.
That never happens. So yeah, it's just like life is about experiences, and you know, you hit the nail on the head. It's like you don't want any regrets, right?
Totally.
So you made some good points, but it's like for the kid that's listening to this, right? Looking back at your own life, what advice would you give to your younger self or to the younger kid listening to this podcast?
Fuck everybody and fuck people my age. You shouldn't care about what I think. You know what I mean?
Dude.
You know what I mean? Like do your own thing, blaze your own trail, make music that sounds good to you, even if the whole fucking world hates it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like don't play music to be famous. Don't play music for money. Play music because you love it and do your own thing. Because all the people in this world that are remembered and that are the greats never fucking caved in, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't cave.
Yeah.
Just do what you love and stick to it. And just it doesn't matter if it's in an arena or in your basement.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it and love it. You know what I mean? And whether you can go on tour, whether you can play a show, or you can just jam with your homies once in a while after work, just fucking do it and love it and just get it out. Express yourself. Do your thing. I feel like a lot of things have changed with time. Before the internet, you'd go to different places and like, man, there's a lot of dudes with mullets in New Jersey. Everything was different, and there was more individuality. I feel like, well, no, there's more individuality now. The world is vast, and I'm just not in tune with everything young people are doing. But I feel like you hear about bands. Oh, we're a mix of this band and that band, or we're this kind of sound, or we're this thing. Punk rock back in the day, GBH didn't sound like the Circle Jerks, but they could play a show together.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was everyone was striving for their own sound, and you hear a lot of hip hop guys saying that. You know, like that came from the era of where it wasn't cool to bite a style, man. It wasn't cool to sound like someone else. And there's a lot of fucking young punk bands doing that don't give a fuck. But it would just be great to see like a big return to that in mass.
Yeah.
You know, because if you look at like social media, it's everybody competing to see who can lip sync the same stupid fucking thing better. It's everyone doing the same goddamn thing. We're all singing the same fucking song.
Yeah.
You know, so, and there's a lot of people that don't give a fuck about that shit. And they're killing it that I don't know about, you know,
of course.
they're out there, but that is the one thing I'd say. It's just do it for you, do your own thing, blaze your own trail, make your own path. You know, you may not make a fucking dime in your life, but it doesn't matter. Cause like you said, when we're older, you'll be happy with all the memories. I'm not rich. You know what I mean? But dude, I get to go to Berlin in March and play rock and roll music.
Yes.
What the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So do your own fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because way later in life, you know what I mean? I think that's what's important is the mark you left and your stamp and your personal signature. What you did. What did you contribute to the greater pool of influences to the world, you know?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
You know, when you leave this planet, what would you like to be remembered for?
I guess for doing music the way we wanted to do it. You know, all the bands I'm in, for doing it the way we wanted to do it. You know, and not caving in and staying true to our mission. You know what I mean?
I love that. Yeah. Being true to your mission. I absolutely love that. Where do you get that from? Is that something that you got from your family, your friends?
A little bit from my family and a little bit from my friends, from punk.
Yeah.
From music, from punk music. You know what I mean? Like when I started listening to punk music and hearing the messages and learning how people were making their own records and doing things, like, it was very inspiring to me. And it really inspired me to want to do things on my own and do things that way, you know. And we were very lucky along the way that we got embraced by these DIY giants, you know what I mean? But I mean, now we're just doing shit on our own, man.
Yeah.
You know, we make our own merch, we record our own records. You know what I mean? So we're still embracing that spirit.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Do you like doing it that way now?
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's cool. And the other way kind of almost doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's cool bands took the power back.
Yes. Yes.
I think the world is great. I think punk rock is awesome. There's no get off my lawn coming from me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I think punk is all right. I mean, we saw the underground explode in LA.
Yeah.
Like, hardcore punk's going crazy right
Yeah.
now, and it's better than it's ever been. And there's so much happening that we don't know about, we shouldn't know about.
Yeah.
That it's, you know, like I've said it, I go, some stuff's just not for us, man, but we can love it too.
Absolutely.
But let's just watch it blossom and keep going.
100%.
Right?
100%. You know, it's like we don't always have to like everything.
No.
Right? We don't have to like every sound. We don't have to, but you can appreciate it.
Fuck yeah.
You can
dude.
appreciate hard work and badass fucking music, although it might not be your cup of tea, right?
Totally.
The creative process that took to make that song, to make that album, to put on that show.
Fuck yeah.
Like, come on, man.
And how brave it is to go on a stage in front of people and do something that's fucking weird.
Absolutely.
That nobody likes. You know, like, dude, you know, like
100%. 100%.
It just makes you think about the original punk scene and how they did that. They
Yes.
kicked all the doors down for us.
Yeah.
We got to keep them open.
Fuck yeah,
Boom.
man. I mean, and that's like a great point. It's like just to get up on stage and sing your fucking heart out, good, bad, whatever the hell it is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true. Look this up. The number one fear in America is public speaking, right? I don't know if that's true. It's just something that I fucking
Right.
heard, right? But like,
Makes sense.
Public speaking, heights, and bugs,
Oh, wow.
okay,
I'm scared of heights.
okay, yeah. I don't like
And
spiders.
bugs.
and corrupt government officials.
I don't like the latter
Yeah,
three
yeah,
at all.
Fuck all of them.
Yeah.
Well, public speaking doesn't bother me at all,
Yeah,
so
me neither.
I like that.
Here we
That's
go.
good. Yeah, exactly. But the rest, fuck them. That being said, it's just like it takes a lot for an individual, a group, a band to be able to do that. And you know, I think as we get older, you know, a lot of people want to like put down this genre of music, and it's just like,
Yeah.
just like in the city, those long hair fucking hippies, right? And
Totally.
some of the greatest
Totally.
music fucking ever, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this. It's like the same thing now. You know, it's like I'm 36 years old, and you know, like some of my friends that I know, they're like, you know, some of the rap that comes out or whatever, they want to talk crap about it, but it's like, I don't know. I have like a different perspective on it.
100%.
You know, it's just
100%.
I can appreciate it. Although some of it might not be my cup of tea, some of it fucking is, right? And I also think having an open mind allows you to hear new things and find new music that maybe you wouldn't have listened to, because as you get older, you kind of get stuck in your ways. But if you have an open mind and an open perspective, it's just like you can hear all of these new bands.
And nothing's easy.
No.
Like, if people are quick to be like, oh, fucking DJ, he just fucking pushes some buttons. You know what? In my experience as a tour manager,
Yes.
and working on crews, on productions, touring with DJs, I've had this argument with musicians. I know that guy's just fucking pushing a bunch of buttons. I go, that guy knows how to do everything you don't.
Yep.
And he is connecting with so many fucking people right now. It's real as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because he
Absolutely.
can do something you perceive to be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not. It's not.
No, it's not
Because
at all.
there are DJs that just press a button, but there are also DJs that fucking do so much more than just
There's
press
also
a
singers
fucking.
that don't sing anything.
Exactly.
There's guitar players that barely play fucking anything on stage.
Exactly.
It's the same
right?
difference. dude.
Right. It's
Show
it's-
business.
dude. Come on, man. Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
100%.
Like, dude, I the same way, like, every once in a while they'll catch some DJ playing someone else's mix and their volume's down on their mixer, they catch it on video. There's some guitar players with their volumes down because they're too wasted to play and there's tracks running.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It
Yep.
is what it is,
Yep.
bro, you know?
And then you got things on the complete far end of that, like Milli Vanilli back in the day.
100%, which is now normal.
It is very normal,
And,
dude.
I remember I was at a bar like with some friends, and then we go across the street to this like house music night, and I was watching the DJ. I like all music.
Yeah.
You know, and we're watching this DJ, and this girl that was with us, she was like a rocker or whatever. She was like, "This fucking music's fucking lame. It's the same fucking song all night." And I looked at her, I go, "I know. Kind of like AC/DC." And she was not having that. Although I love AC/DC.
Yes.
And I want the same fucking AC/DC song all night.
Fuck yes, of
dude?
course.
Give me that same Ramones song all night.
Of course,
But
dude.
you know what I mean? Whatever, you know, but yeah, dude, I forget where we were even going with that, but it's all valid, dude. It's all valid. People can, some people have superpowers in certain directions.
Yeah.
And they use them and connect with people. So, hey, fuck it. Like, I've also seen bands where you're like, dude, that guy can barely play those drums, and they're the biggest band in the world.
It's so crazy, right?
It's fucking awesome.
It's
I love it when people hate or get mad. I'm all, no way. How rad is it that guy fucking is just hanging in there? Fucking, all right, we're huge. You know?
Yes.
Good for him, dude.
Absolutely.
He's playing his heart out.
Yes.
You know. So I like it all, dude.
Man, you
Support
got to
it.
respect it, bro. So you, before we got on the podcast, you were talking about the tour managing. How did that even come about?
I've worked for different bands for years. In my experience playing in bands and stuff, I met people over the years and would do little side gigs here and there, whether it was like handing out flyers for bands in the old days or selling merch or teching, and it just kept evolving with time. And I've tour managed a lot of bands over the years, and now I'm tour managing a lot in between all of our tours and keeping pretty busy. I've tour managed over the years anyone from the adolescents to right now one of my main gigs is I tour manage a guy from Sweden called Young Lean.
Will you pull that up? Pull him up. I'm gonna check him out.
He's dope. He makes trap music. He's from Sweden.
Yeah.
And I work for him in a group called the Drain Gang, and they're kind of like at the forefront of the whole SoundCloud thing.
I love that. Young Lean makes
Young
trap
Lean.
music. There we go. Here we go.
Great dude.
Swedish rapper. I'll read a little bit about him.
Dope, man.
Let me see his Wikipedia.
Really cool artist.
So Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Jonathan. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, you know that. Known professionally as Young Lean, is a Swedish rapper, singer, songwriter. Widely cited as one of the most influential figures in the early cloud rap era. Young Lean rose to prominence in 2013 with his song "Ginseng Strip" 2002, which went viral on YouTube. 26 fucking years old.
Ginseng Strip.
How old was dude? What?
Yeah.
2013. He was
a
16,
kid, dude. He
bro.
was a kid blowing up. He
Like Kid Leroy.
I think for 2022, Ginseng Strip was the most listened to song on TikTok.
Jesus.
Gnarly, dude. So we do crazy productions. Like
Whoa.
it's wild. Like we were just in LA, and like the whole stage, I mean, it looks like a spooky forest on stage. There's cobwebs and spooky trees and incredible lighting and, you know, giant mushrooms and spider webs. He's in
Yeah.
this little forest land and he's exploring through it with a flashlight. It looks so dope, dude. But we're doing Coachella,
Nice.
and if you're there, be on the lookout for Lean, because we're gonna have an insane production that day. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting to be a part of that and watch everything from the beginning to the end. His ideas are so cool. You know, this is what I'm seeing in my head, then finding a set designer that can visualize that and being able to communicate that to him. And it's a really cool process, man.
Very creative.
Different level than us banging it out in a small room, just playing over and over again, getting ready for that show. Like, not only is he rehearsing nonstop, he's also designing a show.
Yeah, like literally, like visually.
Oh yeah, I mean, we have to program the lights for each song differently. Like it's a show that's flows, it's timed, everything happens when it's supposed to. If tomorrow he says, I want to change the set, I'm feeling another song, we have to get in there early and program that.
Wow.
Yeah, and get that, change things.
Wow.
Like it's not like a rock band, you know?
No.
It's wild. We're rolling with the gnarly crew and just crazy production, but I do that with him and with a group from Sweden called the Drain Gang.
The Drain Gang?
Yeah.
What
and
type of music is that?
Same thing.
Okay.
Swedish cloud rap, trap.
And do they tour together or?
Yeah, they tour together. They tour separately. They're all on songs together. They all collaborate. The Drain Gang is a crew of 3 Swedish rappers and a DJ.
Will you pull that up, Tyler?
And these are pretty big shows, like
What were they called? again?
4,000
Sorry.
people a night,
The Drain?
6,000 people. You know,
Shit.
big shows. The Drain Gang, massive. I just did last March. I did a North American run with them. Every show sold out. Entire North America.
Let's check this
and
out.
we couldn't get venues big enough because it's hard to. Everybody was still making up COVID tours.
Yeah.
So in some places, dude, we were in tiny rooms where it was like, fuck, we need like triple the security. You know, like it was crazy. Some like trap Beatles, dude.
Dude, look at them. Look at them. So,
dope,
Drain
man.
Gang, formerly known as Gravity Boys, is an artistic collective focusing on music and fashion. Wow. Oh, yeah. Young Lean, collaboration with label mate Young Lean.
Yep.
Wow. Dude, that's
So,
incredible,
Yeah,
man.
that's my world outside of our world, you know? And,
Yeah.
and I do a lot of one-off gigs, doing production maybe at a festival or, you know, I'll get calls from different people like, oh, I need you to tour manage this gig this weekend, whatever.
What exactly does a tour manager do?
I do everything from once the show gets booked, the agent connects me with the people at the venue. And for every venue in the country, I have to advance the production, all of our needs. I also have to like book all the travel, all the hotels, all the scheduling for every day. Where's the driver going to go once he pulls in? He's been driving this many hours. He can only drive this many hours legally. So the next driver, we're going to have to fly in a second driver. I mean, where's everybody going to stay?
Wow.
You know what I mean? Every logistic of Lean's somewhere at 3:30, at 3:45. He's got to do this other thing. I mean, it's basically running the business of the tour on the road. They have a manager at home, and I'm the manager on the road that makes sure the production moves. I mean, down to like making sure, checking in with our production manager. Hey, did we get the right connectors for these CO2 tanks to do these blasts? Oh, if the venue has the wrong ones, they'll fly off.
Whoa.
You're basically like thinking of everything down to like, okay, I have to settle out this show and get paid. So I have to look at all the taxes, all the deductions, all the different, I mean, everything.
Holy shit.
It's
Do you use
nuts.
software to do all of this?
Yeah. And different apps. But, you know, you're basically the manager of a giant business that's
Yeah.
moving every day and closing down and setting up.
How did you even learn how to do that?
Just learning from other people. I mean, I'm fortunate that in my years in Death by Stereo, we supported some giant bands. So I literally just learned watching everyone and asking questions, learning from people, you know, and figuring it out. A lot of gigs, I would take gigs and just lie. Sure, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
Fuck, you know.
Figure it out as you go, baby.
Oh, dude, yeah, fake it till you make it.
100%.
But yeah, dude. So, you know, I call people for advice all the time too. That people I know that work in production, that work on gigs way bigger than me. You know, hey man, I need some advice. You know, and so you never stop learning. Yeah. You know, because you're gonna come across a gig where you're like, oh shit, I've never done anything like this before. Yeah. Like I've never made a stage look like a communist era spooky forest, which how it was described. This is what we want. You know what I mean? Like, and it was dope as fuck. Like they were right. They had a vision, and it translated, and it looked. The experience for the fans was so cool. I think it's dope, man. I think it's dope.
And so do they use that like every stop?
We did that on this particular run. They did that everywhere in Europe, and they had a set designer there build all the pieces for them. So they had like a 14-foot tree that broke down into a bunch of pieces. Wow. And but then they came here, and it's so expensive to fly that here. We had to do that particular show and set in New York and LA. So the set designers we hired, Angel and Beto, shout out.
Yeah.
They made it happen on both coasts using different people, building pieces and going to prop houses all over the city, trying to find the right things and the right pieces. And they recreated what they did in Europe on both coasts.
Holy shit.
It was fucking insane. So, but it was dope.
And so wait, did you manage the European leg of the tour too?
I'm the North American tour
North
manager
America,
for a company called Year 01. It's a Swedish management company.
Okay.
And they have a roster of artists, another group called Nation that just supported Young Lean. They manage a band called the Viagra Boys.
All right.
Yeah, who are dope.
Yeah.
And my buddy John's out tour managing them. Yeah, so that's kind of been my main gig. But I've tour managed, I don't even know how many bands. I mean, from Ozo Motley to like a handful of bands from Mexico, a band called Hello Seahorse, an indie band
That's a
from
great
Mexico.
name.
Oh, they're dope.
That's a great name.
Oh yeah, dude, you would love them. They're so
Yeah.
cool. You know, but I've done a lot of interesting gigs. You know.
You're very multifaceted,
Well, no,
right? No, that's
trying to get by. You know
know-
what I mean? You got to learn how to do a lot of shit if you want to get by doing music, man.
absolutely. You know, like once again, it's like I keep on saying, it's like people kind of get stuck in the ways, but to be able to branch out and, you know, try this and try that and try this, right? And sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail, but you continue to push. And for you, like, what is next?
You know what? I would like to work on much more complex productions.
Yeah.
You know, I want to keep making music. I want to keep doing my thing and being an artist, but I would really like to get into some more complex stuff on a different level I've never experienced. Like, I just think it's so interesting and so fun to be a part of watching something form and become something incredible and greater than everyone there, you know?
Yeah.
It's fucking cool watching a mass of people just flip out, dude. I love it. I fucking love it, dude. It's a really unique feeling to watch that happen and watch someone realize their dream.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And being able to assist them through that dream.
Yeah, any way I can, you know, whatever part of it I really am, even if I'm just managing a business, I'm not really creating it. Like, I just love being around it. I love being around art, man. It just fucking feels good. Even at the rehearsals, you know?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I love it. Just, oh man, I get to listen to one of the best fucking trap artists in the world
Yeah.
do his thing.
And be
yeah.
there to support him and
Yeah.
not be so egotistical that it's like, oh, it's not me, right?
Totally.
Like, fuck that, man.
There's a DJ called Rusko, a bass DJ.
Uh-huh.
And,
Fucking so good, dude.
Oh, dude, yeah, I love Rusko.
I've seen him so many times.
Rusko's a punker.
Yeah.
And we met a long time ago through a mutual friend. I was doing a merch gig and he was on this tour. It was when he first started coming to the States and I met him. We're still friends. This is many, many years ago when he first came out to the States, and we became friends, and I ended up being a merch guy for him. And then I ended up becoming his tour manager.
Shit.
And I ended up living with him for a while.
Holy
We
shit.
were just bros. But I tour managed Rusko through a lot of stuff. And dude, watching his process, how he wrote, I just feel so lucky, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being a part of his journey was one of the, I think, best times of my life, dude. One of the greatest. He's just such a phenomenal writer and
Yeah.
artist. And so I've been lucky, man. I've got to learn from a lot of great artists. That's another thing too, is I've got to sit in on like sessions, you know, because I'm the tour manager. I'm just there, you know, what do you need, man? You know, and watching shit go down, just holy shit, I can just absorb all of this.
It's incredible.
It's fucking dope, you know?
Do you ever sit back and like kind of like contemplate your entire life as a whole and what you've been able to build and the journey that you've been able to go on?
It's fucking weird, man. It's crazy, dude.
Right?
I don't know how to wrap my head around it, but I just hope it doesn't stop. And I keep getting to be around creative people and art forever.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
you definitely will, man. I mean, once again,
And I don't care if I'm broke or
Yeah.
what, dude. I just want to be an old man that's around music.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes,
Dude, I don't
yes,
care,
yes,
dude.
yes,
Be
yes.
happy.
Absolutely.
You know?
That's what life's all about, man, is being happy, right?
Absolutely, dude.
It's like as long as you got enough money to, you know, feed yourself, put
Yeah, dude.
clothes on, pay the bills, right?
You're doing great.
That's absolutely
Most
it.
of the world can't. You know?
Dude, I actually just heard the statistic the other day
Mm-hmm.
that if you make over $30,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of the world.
Oh, absolutely, dude. It's crazy. Like,
Can you Google that? I just want to make sure. I want to fact check that because
it's fucking nuts, dude. Like most people, the average American makes below $30,000.
yeah, of course, yeah,
absolutely,
absolutely.
It's a fucking tough world out there, man.
100%, 100%, right? And you
And
know,
it ain't easy for musicians, especially everybody out there. I feel you. It's fucking hard.
yeah,
It's so expensive to go on tour now, dude. Like, it's really hard, man.
yes, yeah. I mean, it's very expensive. It
Mm-hmm.
is, it is. But you know, being able to live a fulfilled life and getting to do what you want to do,
Dope.
right? That's like it's such a beautiful thing. What'd you find, Tyler?
It's only really giving me a good answer for America, which is 500 grand.
500 grand? No,
No.
yeah, the
The
world,
average
the world,
American?
yeah, no,
Yeah, top 1% in the world. So how to make the top 1% list? To be in the top 1%, you must be have an annual wage of at least $823,000. See,
Yeah,
not
but
right.
that's America.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's America. That's for sure not.
I know. I'm kind of searching for another answer. I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Fucking
for
gnarly.
sure. But I know,
Shit's tough all over,
for
man.
sure,
People
for
got
sure.
it bad right now.
Absolutely, right,
Dude,
But
yeah.
it's still the greatest time that has ever been ever to ever live, right? For
And music
most
is
of
in
the world,
the hands of the people.
it is.
There's a guy on Instagram called, how does he say his name? Like DJ Boss Boss.
Okay,
He's this dude, this African dude who fucking made this weird homemade like DJ setup that does has all these weird electronic devices he just made. And he put himself on Instagram. And I don't know how I came across him, and I followed him, and I'm like, this guy made his own weird DJ machine in a place where there are no DJs or DJ machines. And now he's got, you know, whatever he has, like 50,000 followers, and
Yeah.
people are tuning into him, and like he's gonna be a fucking legit DJ soon,
Yes.
you know? I
Yes.
mean, like, dude, like the power is definitely in your fucking hands, man.
absolutely.
We can do it now, and you're right. This is one of the greatest eras ever,
Man.
People that could never
No,
have
dude.
opportunities to.
Absolutely. But I mean, the power of social media is just insane. Even with all its flaws, man, it gives so much opportunity to so many fucking people that would never have the opportunity in so many different aspects of life.
I'm bad at it,
Yeah. Well, you know,
but I get it. It's the shit, man.
it is. It's got its flaws, man. Don't get me fucking wrong. But just like anything in life, there's pros and cons.
It is what it is,
Right?
now, huh?
Definitely, man. You know, as we start to wrap this up, bro, you know, you've been with Def, VooDoo, tour manager,
Manic Hispanic.
Hispanic, right? What else, if you could do anything else in the world, what would it be?
I wish I was a ripping skater. I skated for years and I was just never good at it, but I love skating so much, man. Like I fucking love skating. I think it's so dope. And it was something I always wished that I was just fucking like a shredder. I nerd out on skaters, dude. I love skating, dude.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful art
In another
form, man.
life, I'd be the shreddingest skater ever.
Well, you could do that on Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah, exactly.
On video games, right?
it's
You
so
snowboard
funny.
at all?
I have. I'm not good at it, you know. I love it though, and I was just talking about how I wanted to go.
Yes.
I want to go again. I think I love snowboarding.
It's so much fun, man. It's so much fun. And just skateboarding in general, dude, it is a blast. And it's
Skating
just
for
seeing
years.
some of the people, some of the things that they do, it's just so fucking
wrap my head
cool,
around it,
man.
dude.
It's so cool.
It's fucking fun. The beginning, I'd say the first 6 months of the pandemic, I was skating a fuck ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of, you know.
Yeah, man. You fall now, you're gonna fucking
I
hurt
know,
yourself,
dude.
right? It's like, God damn it. That's fucking life, man. Fucking hell, man. Brother, thank you so much
Thank you,
for
dude.
coming on the podcast.
This was awesome, dude. I had so much fun.
Dude.
This was a chill hangout.
That's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's just fucking bullshit and having a good time
Right.
talking, getting to know a little bit about you. You know, before I have one more question, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah. I absolutely believe in aliens. I don't want to be a weird guy and be like, dude, one time I saw this weird thing.
That's not weird, dude.
But
If you
one
got
time
that
I did
story-
see this weird thing.
Did
you know
you
what I
really?
mean? Yeah, but I'll
Come
tell about
on.
it. I'll tell you about it after.
All right, all right,
'Cause
all right.
you know,
I get it. I
There's
get
a couple of us there. We both said people say we're crazy. If we said
No,
that.
dude. Come
But
on,
I'll tell
man.
you after.
That's fine.
But we can't be the only ones out here. Come on.
Come on, dude.
That's like some big human ego shit. We're not the only ones here.
I don't think we are. I don't think we
The
are.
dogs definitely came from outer space. They're so amazing and perfect. They couldn't have come from this planet. You know?
Most dogs. There's some fuckhead dogs out there.
I love
Jesus
it.
Christ.
I love it.
So, brother, where can people find your stuff?
My Instagram is F by Stereo, EF by Stereo.
Yes.
Death by Stereo Band, Grupo Manic Hispanic, VooDoo Glow Skulls. Those are all the handles. Everything's on there. We got shows coming up at the end of February for Death by Stereo in SoCal. Death by Stereo goes to Europe in March and April. Europe, UK. VooDoo's got a ton of shows coming. We're going to announce, actually, I can't say what it is yet, but VooDoo's going to announce a huge fucking summer tour.
Dude.
Huge.
You guys
Crazy.
You guys playing
It's going
SoCal?
to be a North American, yeah. So we'll be in SoCal. But we
yeah.
have a free VooDoo. I don't know when this is going to come out, but this
Yeah.
might be weird. We have a free VooDoo Glow Skulls show with Fishbone February 11th in Long Beach on Pine Avenue. They're closing the street.
Fuck
And,
off.
Yeah, Catalyst Weed Shop is presenting it. So right on Pine Avenue, they're just closing it off. Us and Fishbone are playing free. Come out, guys.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, come hang. It'll be fun.
Nah, we got What's his face from No Effects coming up? We gotta go down Long Beach.
11th.
Yeah, the 11th.
Ah, dang.
I know.
Next
Wait,
time.
where is it?
Just on Pine Avenue in Long Beach, downtown.
Oh, dude, we're gonna be in Long
Long
Beach.
Wait, that's where
what are
you're
the
doing
odds
it?
of
Yeah,
Oh, dude, we're at Smelly's house? Or
Yeah,
something?
yeah,
Oh, dude,
yeah.
bring him with you.
dude.
It's us and Fishbone, dude, for free in the street.
Holy shit. Okay, I'll hit him up. Yeah.
Tell him.
Yes.
Tell him I said,
I
please
will,
come.
I will,
Tell
I
him
will.
I said to please come.
I
I haven't
will.
seen him since Canada a little while back.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck yes, dude. That's so crazy.
What are the odds?
Let's
What
How are
go.
you
Like
going
it's
to
meant to
be
be.
in Long Beach? the same day?
Let's go. All right. We'll make that happen.
You're going to be
for
like
sure.
live on the scene, guy.
Yes. Just rocking out the good music. That's what we be doing.
Fuck yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you to everyone out there.
Absolutely.
Appreciate the support.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Have a good night, people.
Ciao.
Boom.
Fuck yeah.
Brother. Come on. Bring it in, motherfucker.
Thank you, dude. That was fucking so fun, man. Oh, I appreciate it.
Let's go.
Thank you.